time round, we're catching up with Loretta Ryan from ABC Radio Brisbane. Loretta, welcome and thank you for having a chat with us.
Oh, thank you, Donna. It's lovely to chat.
Catholic schoolgirl?
Catholic schoolgirl, of course, Donna Lynch, you know that. Yes, St Pius at Banyo is where I did primary school, and St Rita's at Clayfield is where I did high school.
You often go back to St Rita's, I know, to help out with school functions and things. Do you notice a big difference, besides the buildings and, cosmetic side of stuff, do you notice a big difference when you go back to St Rita's compared to how it was when you went there?
I think the values are the same. Actions, not words, is what was instilled in us. We had the little badges that said that. And, the fact that the school cares about the girls, and it was a great lead into adult life because just teaching you how to act,
Sure.
and how to treat each other. And I think more so now, the world we have today is a lot different to when I was growing up, and there are a lot more things to worry about for schools, like social media, but and bullying. But I know for a fact that the school really concentrates on that and makes sure that they teach the girls the right way to act, and they protect the girls too if they're going through anything.
You talk about that greatness within St Rita's. Obviously, you learnt respect at home. Do you find now that lots of families are relying on school teachers and schools to teach children respect?
Yes, I think they probably do, because you hear that a lot, why didn't the school do this, and what's wrong with the teachers? They get a lot of blame. And I know on the radio when we talk about schools, we get teachers ringing up talking about, how it is tough in the classroom, and a lot of pressure is placed on them. So I think it should all, start at home, and I know it did with us.
Do you feel the pressure working in the media that it's up to you to spread this sort of word too? Because a lot of people say that mainstream media is to blame for what the children are up to in this day and age.
Yeah, that's true. I think mainstream media does have a big role to play, a positive role to play, by teaching them about, for example, cyberbullying.
Mm-hmm.
We do stories on that on the show. But also, I suppose that we're picking the stories that we run too, and how we choose to run those stories, and being mindful of who's listening, and the messages that are we're giving across. So I think mainstream media should be used as an education, especially when you've got children who are listening, but also adults too. We're educating all listeners about things that are happening in the community.
You're a person of great faith, Loretta. You go to Mass regularly. Do you find that difficult at times, knowing you've got your faith and working in the media?
Yes, sometimes it's difficult because I get very defensive if the church is being attacked,
Sure.
and if the Catholic religion is being attacked. And
Yes.
sometimes I struggle internally with that, because I don't sort of know the answer, and sometimes I feel like I can't defend it properly myself, and it's sort of it can be very upsetting, and because people can be very vicious.
Sure.
And but I'm proud to say that I'm Catholic, and I've got my religion. I've gone to the Catholic schools, as I've said before, and it's my life. It's natural for me to pray.
Sure.
It's natural for me to go to church, and also to treat people nicely, and everything that you learn about in religion.
Yes.
So for me, that's what religion is about, and I know for myself, it's knowing someone's there. If I'm struggling with something, or I'm worried about something, upset, I know that I can say a prayer, and I don't know, I just get some comfort out of that.
First job was at Stereo 10, was it?
Yeah, it was Radio 10 at the time. Then it changed to Stereo 10, so it was top 40 station in Brisbane. Then it went to, I think, Brisbane's 1008, and then Light and Easy 1008, and then it went back to the old 4IP, because it was 4IP originally, and then it went to 4TAB. Well, I thought, I don't want to call racing yet.
Sure.
Maybe later down the track. So then I went to Triple M, and I was there for 16 years, and then I went to 4BH, 4BC, and now ABC. I don't think I've left anything out.
It's been a big ride,
It's
hasn't it?
been a big ride. But I've been very lucky, because many others in the industry, haven't had the luck of being in radio for 37 years. And I consider myself really privileged to being able to do that, to have that career. Very lucky. And, you know, it's funny, I put it down to the candle I lit at St. Stephen's Cathedral because, and I still go back there to light a candle for a particular reason, not every week, but a particular thing that I'm worrying about at the time. But I was in town going for my job interview with Mum, and we were in between the two job interviews. I had to have two there, so we went to St. Stephen's and I lit a candle, and I got the job. Now I know that you don't sort of think, oh, I want to win a house and want to light a candle. That's not how it works. But that was my first job, and that was at 18. So, but now, yes, I do believe in the candle. That's one thing that I'm really strong about. Lighting that candle is powerful.
Anything else you'd like to do?
You know, I admire people who can sit down and write a book or write, you know, articles and stuff. And even though I've written a few on my time, it's just finding the time to and the concentration to sit down and do it. But I love interviewing people. You know, I love finding about other people's stories. I love to tell their stories. I hate talking about myself, Donna Lynch. But I love to tell other people's stories because there are people in the community who are doing wonderful things that we don't even know about. And we don't know that person, you know, and they're doing great things every day for people. And so I love to get their stories out because it makes them feel better. So I like to make people laugh too, but I don't want to be a comedian. Anything else I want to do? Is that about it?
That's about it.
Sing maybe? Oh, I wish I could sing. I really wish I could sing well. Not just AC/DC on karaoke.
Look, it's been an absolute pleasure. You are a true friend of mine. You're surrounded by true friends because of the type of person you are. So thank you for talking with us today, and all the best in your future singing career.
Thank you, Donna. I'm sure I'll see you there on the mic as well.